Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I missed you guys. I have been so busy. Like, I haven't had a chance to come on live in a few days. Sorry to those of you guys on Instagram. You just can't see my rebroadcast. So, I try to do some rebroadcasts on Facebook. But I was like, let me come on live today. Good morning, Motunraya on Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. Definitely say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're tuned in from. If this is your first time, definitely give me a shout so I can give you a shout out. Let me officially introduce myself. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Ayesha Chidole. I'm an immigration attorney. I represent clients with family immigration matters in all 50 states of the United States. So your location doesn't matter. I'll be happy to assist you. My phone number here is 407-995-6567. You can also send me a WhatsApp, 404-333-8751. I'm sure you guys saw that I recently celebrated my 5th-year anniversary. So that has been, not my 5th-year anniversary as a lawyer, though, but my 5th-year anniversary owning my own firm. I've been a lawyer for probably over 16 or 17 years. But that was really exciting. And so I couldn't come on live that day just because, we're celebrating. So thank you guys all for always tuning in and supporting me. I wouldn't be here without all of you guys, all my clients, all of you guys that follow me. So today, let me say hi to some people here before I jump into it. Good morning, Brandon from New York, Minaj from Chicago, Larry from Indianapolis, Kunya Ojo from New York, Katie on YouTube. Good morning. How long is a 601 waiver taking? Thanks. 601 could take it depends on where you're filing from. Are you outside the country or are you inside the country? Honestly, these things are taking like 24 months and up. So it's taken a long time. Um, what's nice, I'm joining from Atlanta for the first time, and I'm glad to know you can help regardless of the location. Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Somebody asked King on Instagram, asked, what should be your answer if during the interview they ask you if you got married to gain immigration benefits? Duh. What do you think your answer should be? Did you get married to gain immigration benefits? The answer should be absolutely not. You should marry because you love the person. So you should not say that. Blessed morning to you too, Vaughn. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is, you guys can definitely start putting your frequently asked questions in the comment box. I have one other screen open, so I'm going to be looking left so that I can get some of those questions. And these are from the lives from the last 2 days on Facebook. So, I know there are a couple people there wondering why I wasn't answering their question. I wasn't answering because I wasn't live. It was a rebroadcast. So I'm going to try and answer some of those questions. Good morning, Andy from Boston. Wow, good morning, Ashraful from Bangladesh. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, Christiana from Chicago. Okay, so the first question is, how long does it take to receive travel documents after filing for VAWA? The answer is it depends on if you file your VAWA with an adjustment of status. If you filed your VAWA with an adjustment of status, your travel documents and work permit, usually generally the window is 5 months to 8 months. Honestly, though, right now, and as of yesterday, when I pulled up the processing time, it's now saying 9 to 10 months, which is not cute. That's not even good. So I'm hoping that that is really not true, that it's taking 9 to 10 months. But I would say that majority of the people get it around the 6 month window. But that being said, this is just an estimate, but it could be before, it could be well after. But the thing is, right now, what USCIS has done is they've put this 9 to 10 months, so you can't even do any inquiry on why your stuff is taking so long until it passes that time, which kind of is annoying, but that's what it is. And I suspect that's the reason why they're also given 24 months work permit and travel permit, just because everything is really delayed. The worst of it is for EAD renewals. EAD renewals right now are taking the longest, even longer than the initial work permit. So hopefully, as you're bringing on this 2-year ones, people are not going to have to deal with this anymore. So somebody said, can my husband file for me if we're not living in the same state? Denise, you have to explain the reason why you and your husband are not living together. If you're filing just a marriage-based petition, so it's not that it's impossible, it's just that it makes it a little bit more difficult. Like you put yourself under a stricter scrutiny. So they're going to be wanting to understand, well, why don't you and your husband live together? Okay. So you're going to have to be able to explain that why you don't live together, and it has to be a credible or logical reason, i.e. my husband is in medical school, he's a nursing student and he's taken the NPLEX or whatever they call that exam, and I am, like in law school. I'm obviously making a random whatever, but basically the reason has to make sense, and there has to be a plan for you guys to ultimately live together. Okay. um all right. Colin just says, my question, I filed for VAWA. I got a notification that my application has been received, but my current EAD will expire in 2 months now. Do you think my job will not be affected, or have stayed out of job till I have the new EAD? Well, if your EAD has expired, you technically are not you technically are not authorized to work. So that'll be up to your job to allow you to work or not to work. Obviously you're a client of mine, so I don't want to discuss personal stuff on here. You can, schedule a call with me and then we can talk about it so I can explain it to you, or check your client portal, because I believe I answered this question in your client portal yesterday. Andy says, what to expect at your marriage-based green card interview. What to expect usually is that they will be interviewing both you and your spouse to make sure that you guys have a bona fide marriage. And somebody asked me yesterday, well, what is a bona fide marriage? It's basically showing that your marriage is legitimate. So, sometimes people think showing your marriage is legitimate means just providing a marriage certificate, saying, well, look, we have a marriage certificate, we're married. No, a bona fide marriage means that you entered into your marriage out of good faith, meaning that you and your spouse really love each other, really want your marriage to work. Immigration just so happens to be a fringe benefit of it, and not that you entered into your marriage with the intent to get a green card. So they will be asking a lot of questions about, how you guys met, how you guys know each other, what proof do you guys have that you have a real marriage. Sometimes, though, your first interview could be what we call a Stokes interview. And a Stokes interview is essentially where they separate the two of you and, first of all, bring one person in and they ask that person questions. And once they finish asking that person questions, they send you out and ask the other spouse to come in and they ask questions, and then they compare the answers. And if the answers are not satisfactory, what happens is you get a notice of intent to deny based on your answers and whatever else is in your documentation. But generally, you always want to prepare for your interview as though your interview is going to be a Stokes interview. You want your interview, you always want to go with the mindset that your interview is going to be antagonistic, like that it's not going to go, that your interviewer might be rough. And the reason why I say that, and I say this to all my clients, I don't care how slam dunk of a case we have, and maybe that's what helps me to be super successful with help with clients. But you must always go in imagining that they're second guessing you. And what does that mean? It means that you need to prepare more than a normal person will prepare. You always want to prepare like they're going to go there and they're going to grill you, so that when you go there, your interview is very easy. And it's like, oh, we knew everything. We slam dunked it. Just be prepared, because this is an important document, so prepare for it. Larry Black says, is Biden's amnesty program still on? Well, Biden's amnesty program, first of all, does not exist. It's just a bill. That's all it is. And what I mean by that is that it's not law. So these are all bill is essentially just law that you want to introduce, but people have to that the Congress has to vote, the Senate has to vote, they have to vote on it. So right now, there's just so much back and forth. How United States politics is, and I don't want to get into that today, but things go back and forth. And until something comes up, nothing is law yet. So, they're just different suggestions of what they want to do. So, yeah. This person says, let me take someone Instagram. Let me get some Instagram people. I already have my 10-year green card and I'm getting ready to file for my citizenship. It's been 2 years now that I've had my 10-year green card, still married, and I want to know when it's best to start. So Motunraya, you want to calculate, have you been married to your husband for 3 years? If the answer is yes, So that's one check mark. And then you want to calculate 2 years and what's my math is awful. 10, 11, 12. So 2 years and 9 months. So 2 years and 9 months, basically 90 days before your 3-year anniversary of your green card, then you're eligible to submit your application based on you still being married. So you will have to attend with your husband because you're applying for your citizenship based on you still being married. Okay. Mama Stella says, thank you for all your help. You're very welcome. Timon says, when you enter the US on a B1 visa, how long after can you get married and adjust your status? Well, the answer to the question, before I answer the question, you want to make sure, I have to make this point. You want to make sure that you're entering into a legitimate marriage, that you're not just entering into a marriage to file for adjustment of status, because you will raise a red flag and a potential denial and deportation for yourself. That being said, if you enter into the United States and you just so happen to meet someone, the love of your life, and you want to get married, it's always best to wait after 90 days of entry, because if you submit a petition or marry or do all those things 90 days, within 90 days of entry, there's a presumption of misrepresentation of yourself, meaning that you really planned to enter into the US and do that, but you misrepresented yourself in CBP, which is Customs and Border, and all of that stuff. So, always want to wait that. Sheik says, are you in Atlanta? I'm currently in the state of Florida as of today. I'll actually be in Atlanta tomorrow, but we have offices in Atlanta. But that being said, we take clients all over the United States, so our location doesn't matter. I'm able to do consultations via Zoom video, able to do consultations by phone if it's your preference. Personally, I like video because I like to see who I'm talking to. So definitely give us a call, and I'll be happy to assist you. Okay. Mutun said, how do I schedule a call? 407-995-6567, and they'll be able to schedule you for a consult with me. It's also, the number is also on my profile. Guys, I have about 4 more minutes because I have a meeting. Okay, so a friend of mine is separated from her husband but not divorced yet. She filed for VAWA and now she's expecting a baby with her partner. Will this affect her process if she puts her partner on the birth certificate? I am not a proponent of removing people that belong on the birth certificate. You should not be removing children's fathers, on birth certificates if they are the father of the children, just because you're trying to do something that's not right, whatever it is. The only thing is that VAWA does not, if you submit a VAWA petition, you cannot remarry until your VAWA petition has been approved. That being said, nobody's stopping you from being in a relationship with somebody else. I mean, if you're divorced and separated, things are not working out. It's what it is. I believe in going with the truth and being able to explain that logically. Yeah, we're not together. Why would I still be having a baby with him when we're not together? I'm with somebody else. The only thing is you just can't get married. So don't go lying on the birth certificate. Put the child's father if the child is that person's child, whatever. Boo for the Booless says, yay, good morning. Finally, I got to see your live. Thank you. Boo for the Booless. Do you know your name is the name of like a very popular song in like a Nigerian artist? That's like one of his whatever album names, Boo for the Booless. I don't know if that inspired you. Mama Sala says she's worth every penny, folks. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Okay, so let's see. Nakia says, okay, let me scroll through. My mouse is not working today, guys, so it's making me a bit slower in my scrolling. Fuziyat says, good morning from the Benin Republic. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Facebook, guys, I don't know. I can't scroll through to get to these questions. Okay, let me see. Okay, somebody says, Dimitri says, good morning from Orlando. Can a 10-year green card holder file for their 18-year-old son? Yes, they can file for their 18-year-old son. But the question is going to depend on whether or not the child is here in the United States or the child is outside of the United States, because the process is different. Because they're green card holders, technically, if they're 18, they would be considered, they would not be considered immediate relatives. So meaning that they would have to get a waiver of hardship and finish their process. Well, sorry, if they're 18, Oh no, they're 18 already. Yeah, so they will need a hardship waiver. Basically, you don't accrue unlawful presence if you're under 18. Like if they were 17, then they can just go back for the interview and then come back. But if you're over 18 and you're in the United States, you will need a hardship waiver for them to file for you. They can file the I-130, but you will not be able to get the adjustment of status. They will need a waiver unless the person is currently in status. The other option is for the 10-year green card holder to become a U.S. citizen, and then they can file for the child before the child, you know, gets to 21. Okay, so let's see. Boo for the Bula says they have a question, but I'm leaving soon. That's fine. You can always schedule a consult with me if you want a consultation, or you can come back on live. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go on live tomorrow. I have a plane flight to catch, but if I can, I will. Otherwise, it will probably have to be next week. All right, let's see what other questions I have. All right, I can only take one more question. Christiana says, my sister was on appeal before and she later filed for VAWA, but she put the appeal on hold and submitted only the I-360. My question is, can she still file for an EAD? Christina, so when you submit a VAWA petition, I don't know what she put in her VAWA petition. You can actually select the option to get an EAD, an employment authorization, but you're not going to get that until your VAWA case is approved, and that could take 2 years to 2.5 years. However, if she applies for adjustment of status, which she can apply whether or not she's an appeal, the reason being is that appeal means that her case has been denied. So technically, she can file for an adjustment of status. If she files for adjustment of status, then she can submit an EAD and a travel permit, and then she'll be able to get that quicker, within 5 to 8 months. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry that if I didn't get to your question. I'll try and see if I can't come on tomorrow. I'm not promising you guys. If I can, I will come on. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye.